Hi, this is Alison from Freddie Loves Crochet, and today I'm going to take you through a quick tutorial on how to do this basic Tunisian crochet, which is the Afghan stitch. Really simple and really effective. It's really handy if you want to make things like bag straps because it doesn't have much stretch in it and it's nice and dense, so it's ideal for carrying a bag. It is worked in a 2-row pass, they're called, so you don't in order to create the stitch you need to go along and then work back again to create the full stitch. So it's a 2-row pattern. You also, unlike traditional crochet, you don't turn your work, so you just work on it from the front going back and forth like this, and it's a bit of a hybrid between knitting and crochet, where you build stitches along your hook and then work back through them. So traditionally, you have a really long crochet hook, but for things like bag straps, a short regular one can do. This may be a bit short, depending if you wanted a thicker strap. You might need to get a non-silicone handle hook. Otherwise, for this size, it's absolutely fine. So it's a real basic, simple one called the Afghan stitch that we're going to look at today. Starts off, you can either pick up some stitches on your work. So I'll show you what I mean by that. So 2 ways of starting. Make a slip knot, as in we use a standing stitch to start with. So just to pick up your first one, do a single crochet in, a slip knot in there until you've got your first stitch there. And I'm going to work with 5 stitches today. So you're literally going to insert your hook into each stitch across and keep them on your hook, so you've got 5 loops, or however many stitches you want to work with, however your width is. So you can do it straight onto the top of your piece of work. I'm just going to undo that because I'm going to start today with a foundation chain. So I'm going to start with a slip knot on my hook and then create 5 chains. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And just like I did on the top of the work there, I'm going to work into each chain, yarning over, pulling through, and then working into the next one. Starting from the second chain from the hook, I'm going to go into each one, yarn over, pull through, each one, yarn over and pull through. So we're building up the stitches on our hook like this. So that's the first forward pass. So we've gone forward on, and now we're going to reverse. So we'll do the backward one and work back along these stitches to finish off the stitch. So first of all, yarn over and you just pull through that first 1 loop. It's always 1 to start with. Then yarn over, and we then now pull through loops 2 at a time. So 2, yarn over, and then through 2, yarn over through 2, and yarn over through 2. So we start off yarning over and pulling through 1 loop, and all the others are a yarn over through 2. You can see it's starting to create these vertical posts here, and they are the posts that we're going to need to work in now. So that's the 2 rows. We've gone forwards and we've come backwards. We're going to go forwards again now. There is no need to chain or anything at the end, and we don't work. So we're going to work in these vertical posts here now. We don't work in the one that is directly under our first stitch there, so which is this long one here on the end. My first one is here. So hook in to that long vertical post, yarn over, pull through, find the next one, which is here. So it's on the front of your work rather than at the top, which is what you're more used to in traditional crochet. And then build until we've got our 5 loops again. That one at the end, yarn over, pull through. So we've got 5, and then if you remember, it's yarning over, pulling through 1. Then we yarn over, and now it's through 2. 1, 3, and 4. There we go. You can see it starting to build. And again, we don't go into this very first one on the end here. Our first stitch that we go into is here, this post. So you can imagine if you were making a huge, great big piece with a long piece of, with a long crochet hook, how easy it would be to find your stitches and things like that. Okay, so then we've got our 5 loops again, yarn over, and then we just pull through the first loop on the first one, and now it's 2 at a time. So yarn over through, oh, got a bit stuck there, 2, there we go, yarn over through 2, yarn over through 2, and yarn over through 2. Do it one more time, but it's a fairly simple one. So into these front posts here, there we go, building up along. So it gets trickier when you want to increase and decrease, but for today's tutorial this is a really basic, simple way of doing a straight piece of Tunisian crochet. You're yarning over and just through 1 at the end there, and now it's through 2. 2, and it, like I say, it's absolutely ideal for things like bag straps because it gives you this lovely dense texture. See, the back looks really different. It looks a bit like knitting, the back, and the front we've got these long posts that you can see there. And there you go. This is the tutorial for the Tunisian crochet. If you enjoyed today's tutorial, please do hit the subscribe button. Thanks for watching.